It is 6:11 here, AM 1220 KHTS, your hometown station. I'm Tori. In studio with me is Devin. And Devin, I am so sorry. I called you Devin Smith before. I'm so used to saying Perry Smith.
I understand.
It's Devin Miller. And
Perry's been here all day for the past week doing 50 interviews, so I completely understand.
Exactly. So Devin Miller is here, too. He's part of our news team, and he's going to continue with the interviews for candidates for City Council. So you go right ahead, Devin.
Thank you, Tori. So the City Council spot has been vacated by Dante Acosta, who is now in the State Assembly. I'm here with Todd Topolski. How you doing, Todd?
Pretty good.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, not a problem.
So can you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and who you are, what you do?
Well, I'm an IT consultant. I've worked probably over a couple of decades for most of the large consulting companies and large clients and things like that, doing very large projects. I've been living in the area for over 12 years. I've got a beautiful wife, 3 kids. They're 22, 18, and my youngest, who's 15 and autistic. And I just feel like I can bring a lot of skill and a lot of knowledge and just ability over my years to the city.
All right. So in your time here, have you got involved in the community? Have you done any volunteer work?
Actually, for the school districts, I was on the site council for both of the high school district, for the junior high school, and for the Saugus elementary school district. So I did, in fact, the chairman of that one for a number of years, and plus being on it. So I have done that quite a few times.
All right. So if you were to be appointed to the City Council, what would your main priorities be?
Well, we all live in the city and we all see different odd things, and I want to kind of bring some of my project management and business alignment type knowledge and experience to it. And I think we all probably remember a good example I was using is with questions that this has been asked is we watched Soledad get a nice new median, and then a year later or 2 years later it's torn up and a bunch of trees are put in the middle of a drought. That's very odd thing, and that by itself might not be a major issue, but it kind of tells me that there's a lot of planning stuff. On an opportunity side, I think we've all seen in the news, in fact, where I'm one of the clients I'm at down in Torrance is leaving and going to Texas, a lot of people leaving and things like that. Well, I have personal experience of coming from Texas to Santa Clarita, where I know that the cost of living was not different. It just wasn't different. So I'm thinking perhaps we can turn Santa Clarita into a place where businesses can go, still staying in California.
All right, so from with your business experience, stuff like that, is there anything that you can provide to the city with your expertise?
Well, I do, mainly it's IT work, but it's all at the design, planning, business alignment type of thing, multi-million-dollar projects. So, yeah, especially with IT stuff, but it applies with facilities or building anything like that. I can basically look at contracts, look at proposals and ideas, and pretty quickly figure out if they're good, if they're bad, if we can use them, align them with strategic long-term goals and things like that.
So you kind of touched on it before, but is there one thing that you agree with the City Council, something that you would do similar, and one thing that you might have done slightly different?
Well, I wouldn't have put those red light cameras in. So I really was never annoyed by them personally, but anyone who did a real business analysis on that would know that there was going to be no return of investment, no real benefit, and probably a lot of detrimental effects. And apparently that wasn't paid attention to. So if I could see something like that, it should have been seen. But honestly, the city, one of the reasons I live here is it seems pretty well run. Mm-hmm. There's no real significant complaints or anything like that. So it could be, hopefully I'm just stepping in and maybe I can improve upon what's there as opposed to finding stuff that really needs to be worked out.
All right, so you have some time left. Is there one thing that you want to leave the listeners with tonight?
No, I mean, I know that there's 50 people and we're all living in the city and it's all good. And, I'm getting into this just mainly for my wife. She didn't use these words, but for, all intents and purposes, she says, are you going to be an armchair quarterback or are you going to do something? Mm-hmm. So she knows that I have a lot of ideas and a lot of ability to really, think about things. And I think I can bring that to the city pretty well, at least for a couple of years, and see how that goes.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Sure. Thank you.